Good afternoon. Today is April. Oh, snap, it's May. It's May
It's May
1st.
1st,
Wow,
yeah.
2019. My name is Trey Jackson, and this is a guest.
Emmanuel. Jean Bar.
Yes, that's a fancy name. So classy. Anyway, we are here to talk about accepting one of the most powerful things, accepting things, people for what they are and where it is, circumstances, whatever it is in reality. We both, I know for myself, have recently, specifically with people, it's difficult because a lot of times we want things to work out how we see them. You know, we see things a certain way, and the way we look at things when someone doesn't show up or do something we think is like the best option. If you're holding on to that and you're like, no, it has to be this way, you basically are kind of trying to bend someone else's will to be how you want them to be because I see that as the best way. But it takes a certain level of awareness to recognize that, to get more realistic, like if we got an issue and I think we can resolve it by talking about it, it doesn't make sense to me that you wouldn't want to just have a conversation about it. But you have that right as a person. That person has that right to be like, you know what, I don't. I want to be like this. I want to not forgive. I want to whatever. Like, and it wasn't until I was okay accepting that, you know what, I'm not always going to get people to be or do ever, like in any sense, like how I want them to be and show up, that I could be free and just everything can flow. And I know you had a recent situation, something like that.
Yeah, to piggyback on what you said, it's kind of like, we spoke about it earlier, how it's kind of like the ego. Your ego wants you to do certain things and have certain things, and we all know that we are co-creators, and sometimes because we know that, the ego emerges and it makes us feel that we can create anything, manifest everything, and that's great. We should definitely have that confidence to do that, but there are certain things that we have no control over. Like, for instance, the story he was speaking of was, I really wanted to mend a particular relationship, and it would be a relationship people would be like, oh, that's a relationship that has to be fixed.
Mm-hmm.
And I had it that I'm going to fix it. I'm going to do it by any means necessary.
Any means necessary.
And
yeah.
I went through self-development, prayed about it, tried to do the things that they wanted to do to please them. But at the end of the day, I was still unhappy because it wasn't being reciprocated. I was the only one who cared to fix the relationship. This person was like, could care less.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized, I'm like, I have to be okay with things not being okay. And that's okay. And I can find peace with that. And I can know, like, this just is not a relationship that works. Regardless of a title of like a brother or sister or a cousin or godmother or mom, dad, certain things
we've been friends for 3-4 years.
Yeah,
what you mean?
Or like since high school, or since
what you mean we're not going to continue
preschool.
like?
But certain things are there's certain things that the universe, God, Allah, whatever you want to believe, they say, or I don't know what you want to say, or that person, they have to say too. And so it might not be the higher power. It might be that person, and that's just our will and their will, and we just can't. We have to be okay with things just sometimes not going our way. Even when we do put in the work, you do the manifestations, you do the meditations, there are certain things that have to be.
And that shows it, like you said, it's not just people, but things. Like, you know, you failed out of school, like whatever. That wasn't supposed to happen.
Right.
This can't happen.
Right. You were prepared.
And it's like fighting against that whole, this is not supposed to be this way, this can't happen. You don't really have freedom to create anything new. You know, you're stuck in like a cycle of trying to. I like how Deepak Chopra said in one of his books. He's like, when you resist, you're fighting against the whole universe. So it's your will against the entire universe. You know, and there's just so much freedom in allowing, like getting in line with that current instead of trying to just fight it and struggle and suffer and strife and grieve and gnaw and just
But not to say not to go for it, but it's just like when there's a moment where you realize that, okay, I literally have tried like X, Y, and Z, and it's still not happening. I think there's a point that you have to, I don't know when that point would be, but you would have to know it for yourself.
Yeah, you have to look.
And you have to be like, okay, this is not something I can control or manifest differently.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
It's okay. It is okay.
Yeah. Because something new. So, like, for me, I won't say who it was, but once I accepted that that relationship wasn't going to be mended and that it was going to be that way, all these different all these different people came into my life that would fill that spot of that person. And then it also gave me a new perspective of people and just life in general. And so, as I'm saying, certain things do happen for a reason. There's no mistakes, and we have to be okay and trust the process, the journey, and the Most High, and figure it out why. Certain things do have to end.
Yeah, I mean, everything will end. Everything. Right. And everything has its season, you could say. You know, my mom says that phrase. She said, you're either like, actually, it's not hers, but you're either a leaf, a branch, or a tree. Leaves are just here for a season, and they're gone. Branches stay a little longer. Trees are like there, got life for, they're solid. So one other thing you said was, it reminded me of when one door closes, a door opens. So even though this relationship is like, you've accepted, like it's done, it doesn't mean, but by law, really, like there's something else coming. What is it? Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. So there is really something else for you. There's another job for you. There's another opportunity for you, and really, it's better. Right. So,
and all those efforts that you got to prepare you for that, or to fix that thing that you wanted, and it didn't work out. Promise that thing that does manifest and come to you, you will be prepared. You'll be like, oh well, I don't know if you ever had those aha moments, and you're like, you did something, you really wanted something, and then you didn't get it, but you were prepared for it, and then something else came about, and you're like, I am prepared for this. This is the moment that I prepared for. Not what I thought it was, but now I see, and now it makes sense. Like, I have so many of those moments. It's ridiculous. Cool
you're always being prepared. You're always being prepared. I made a video earlier about just being prepared is like everything. And like that intentional preparedness, and what I get from what you said is like, you always have the opportunity to take that preparedness or just be like, or not, so you're always given the opportunity and being prepared at the same time. So fail forward quickly is what they say. Learn it, apply it, use it.
So like even that saying too, trust the process, it's so much more fitting. Like now I really get it. Like you'll hear these sayings and it's like, okay, yeah, I get that. But it's like, no, did you really get it? Did it like sink in? And it's like people say these things all the time, but it's just like, but you're in the situation, you don't really care about it. It's like really,
that's right.
It's like trust the process. No, I want this, and it's like no, like really trust it. Because it's for you, the benefit for you.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining me today.
You're welcome.
with the Haitian influence,
I like this.
Yeah, it's cool, right?
You're leaving. I was gonna say maybe we should start off.
No, it's cool.
Come back.
You have to come back. Yeah. Appreciate it. Have a good one. All you are is love, and all we have is now.